Press is one of the foundation exercises of the starting strength method. It is, in addition to the bench press, the primary upper body work that we get. Press has the advantage of having a kinetic chain that reaches all the way from the hands down to the floor. It's a total body exercise. And since it's a total body exercise, the belt is very, very important on the press. The belt works as hard to help you with your position on the press as it does on the squat or the deadlift. The press is a very often neglected movement. We put it back in this program all in the early part of the 2002, 2003, but prior to that, we had neglected it most of the time. But I got to thinking about this one day, and I thought, well, this is a perfectly useful exercise, and it fills in a gap in training the entire kinetic chain from the hands down to the floor. So this is why we press. Now, it's important to press correctly, all right? And the press is extremely dependent on the grip that you take on the bar. The grip on the press can make or break a correct press. Okay, and most people do not pay enough attention to the grip. The grip width on the press is narrow. Most people will end up with their index fingers somewhere on the inside line of the knurl, right here, within an inch of that. Some smaller people may be inside that. A guy, 350-pound guy with huge shoulders might be an inch outside of that, but the movement pattern is extremely dependent on taking the correct grip. So the press is usually dependent on the grip for its correct execution, because if you do it wrong, the barbell is going to be loose in your hands and it's going to be out of balance over the middle of the foot. The out of balance over the middle of the foot is less of a concern because that pretty much regulates itself. It won't go up if it's way out of balance. The grip in the press is extremely important in terms of the mechanics of the press. All right, if you don't take the proper grip and the bar ends up this far behind your wrist joint, the forearm bones, where the forearm meets the hand, then you've got a lever against that joint that does not need to be there, all right? And if you keep the barbell directly over the bones of the forearm, you have a perfectly straight transmission of force between the drive up from the elbows and the bar. Now, the way to think about this is after you take the correct grip with your thumbs pointed down and you've got the bar out of the rack and in your hands, you're going to think about crushing the bar with your hand. All right, now look at the angle here. This is a neutral wrist. This is flexion. This is extension. You want the bar here. And the way you keep it there is to leave your fingerprints in the knurl of the bar, while every rep has got to be squeezed again and driven up. And if you do that correctly every time, the bar will stay in the right place. You won't have a lever against your wrist. And you get much more complete force transmission between the forearm bones and the elbow, which is driving the bar up, and the bar itself. So keep these things in mind. Crush the bar. Every rep, neutral grip crushes the bar, and that makes for an efficient press.